Black means confidence. Black means intelligence. Black means working hard and turning this country for the better. We are one thing. Africa is one. Africa must never be divided by anyone. Let us love all Africans. Comrades, fighters, young people of our nation, 50 years ago of this date, the children of Soweto made a decision that shook the foundation of apartheid. In honoring them, in honoring the two I've mentioned, in honoring Winnie Mandela, I'm going to ask that we observe a moment of silence. Fighters, the 1976 generation was killed because they refused to learn in Afrikaans. They refused that there must be puppets of imperialism. There must be puppets of an apartheid system that was not benefiting them with anything. They were told that they need to learn mathematics in Afrikaans. They were told they must learn biology in Afrikaans. They were told to learn social sciences in Afrikaans. They said, hell no, we will never do that. It was not only them who refused, even their teachers refused because they did not know Afrikaans. How do you expect me to teach mathematics in Afrikaans when I do not know Afrikaans myself? The children said they are not going to take the language of the oppressor and make it their own language. They've got their own language, and that language will never die, because Hendrik Verwoerd said, we are not important. We must not be taught important lessons. We must be taught inferior education that will not make us compete with white people. We refuse. We said we are better than white people. They found us here. They found us teaching each other using our own languages, and therefore we cannot become clever today because a white man has arrived in our country. We salute them because they said, we don't want to reproduce a generation of cowards who are going to speak Afrikaans because they worship their masters. We say to them, thank you. Thank you for not being cowards, because if we were cowards, we will not be here today. Comrades, we are here at the Union Building today. In 1976, a black person will never dare to come closer to the Union Building. But the youth of 1976, since they were short, they only sang one song, Siaya Epitori. And from 1976, we arrived here in Pretoria today, and there is nothing that is going to stop us from occupying this Pretoria, because that's where our people were saying they are going. They said, we need to go to Pretoria. Why should we go to Pretoria? They said, our IDs are being issued in Pretoria. If Pretoria refuses to release your ID, it means you do not exist. Therefore, we are going to Pretoria. The laws that are being passed to kill black people are being passed in Pretoria. Therefore, we are going to Pretoria. The 1913 law that was passed, which took land from our people, was passed in Pretoria. That's why we need to go to Pretoria to change that law and pass the new law in Pretoria. And that law must return the land into the hands of the people of South Africa. Fighters, the Bantu Act, Bantu Education Act, was passed in Pretoria, and the only way to do away with Bantu education and the Bantu Act and introduce Bella Bill, Bella Act, we must come to Pretoria and set away with Bantu education and replace Bantu education with people's education for people's power, and education that will make a black child to be confident of being himself, that will make a black child not to be scared of their peers, that will make a black child to know that I am black and I am beautiful. There is nothing black and inferior. Black means confidence. Black means intelligence. Black means working hard and turning this country for the better. Comrades, we came to Pretoria because our problem started here in Pretoria. Solomon Mahlangu was hanged here in Pretoria. Nelson Mandela was sent to Robben Island from here in Pretoria. They called this thing a union building after they came together, the whites, English and white Afrikaners, and had a treaty that they are no longer going to fight, and they formed a union government. That's why this thing is called a union building. It is their union building. Under us, it will never be a union building. This place will be declared a freedom square where people will come and enjoy their freedom, where they will know that sitting here is the government of the people and not the government of the oppressor. That big statue under the EFF of Louis Botha, it is going to be demolished, and Nelson Mandela's statue will remain standing, because we can only associate with Nelson Mandela and not a murderer called Louis Botha. Comrades, no one is going to come from anywhere and give us freedom. The freedom is in our hands. The youth of South Africa is unemployed. More than 50% of the youth are unemployed. Many of those have given up looking for jobs. They are no longer interested, because they say even if you go and look for a job, you will never get a job. We're talking here of 10.6 million young people who do nothing when they wake up in the morning. When you turn this side and ask GNU, what is the plan to empower these 10.6 million young people? They've got no plan. Which means we are going to become more and more graduates who go straight into the factory of unemployment. Only the EFF can stop that unemployment. How do you stop the unemployment? We need to nationalize the mines. We need to process every product that comes underground here in South Africa. Beneficiation must happen in South Africa. When they dig chrome and they put it behind the truck and they take it to KZN, and from KZN they take it to outside South Africa, those are your jobs behind the truck. That's why chrome must be produced here and go next door. That next door will be a factory where they process chrome, and then it goes outside South Africa as a finished product. Those who dig chrome, they will get jobs. Those who process it after digging, they will get jobs. That's how you create jobs. That's how you industrialize. You can never have industries if you don't beneficiate the minerals from this country in this country. Industry is what is going to create jobs in the whole of South Africa. But they will never do that. Why? Because they sell everything. Today, comrades, electricity is very expensive. You ask yourself, why is electricity so expensive? It is because the coal they produce, the beautiful coal they produce, they sell it with dollar. And therefore, Eskom cannot afford to buy more coal and produce more electricity that can be sold to us cheaper, because they use dollar to buy it. Because Eskom does not have dollar to buy coal, they take the coal outside South Africa, into China, into America, and everywhere else. The remaining coal, they process it here to produce electricity. It becomes more expensive. We want coal produced in South Africa to be used to produce electricity for South Africans and sell it to South Africans cheaper because it is their own mineral resource. It is a God-given mineral resource which must be spent on South Africans so that we can have cheaper electricity. Fighters, we don't want a situation where there is no water. There is no water because majority of the pipe and the water infrastructure in South Africa is old. Instead of transporting water into your yard, all of those pipes are leaking. As a result, we don't have water. The little water we have, they sell it expensively because it's very minimal. It's low and the demand is high. The EFF will fix the water infrastructure, stop the leaking, and make sure every drop of water arrives at the right place. We have more water, and when we have more water, we can give it to our people free, or if we sell, we can sell with reasonable amount. Fighters, education must be free. Education is not like chess. Education is not polony. Education, it is what you are born with. Every child once born has a right to education. Why must you pay for your right when you are born with it? When you open your eyes, you see. No one say you must pay to see, because it is your right. You are given that right by God. When you are born, you speak. You are given that right by God. The same applies to education. You must be educated, and you must be educated for free. And when we say free, we mean everything that comes with education. Because education is not just a chalk and board. It's uniform, it's books, it's the building, it's the meals at schools. Everything must be cheaper, must be free, so that our children go to school in their numbers. We produce a generation of educated people. Fighters, why must you buy uniform? Why should children buy uniform? Because uniform must be free of charge. Uniform means uniformity. Uniformity means you must all look the same, so that there is no one who judges the other one. But if we don't give you uniform for free, you don't look the same, because this one goes to school kaeta cha ubulea o marugo a kheile asa concentrate ko skolong e ba joke ya the whole school ngwana wa faila gane ngwana se domkop. The conditions are not conducive for the child. A re dieng gore ngwano a tshwane le bana ba bangwe a ska ba joke ya mo motseng. And all of the student accommodation must be in good condition. It must be in such a way that even myself can stay in that particular room. But if I look at it and I'm like, I can't sleep in this room, it means this room is not conducive for my child. Because when I see you, I must see my child. And I must ask myself, will my child sleep in this room? If the answer is no, that child is not supposed to sleep in that particular room. Fighters, every room where you say this is student accommodation, this is student center, this is student, everywhere the student go in their environment, Wi-Fi must be there, Wi-Fi must be free of charge, Wi-Fi must be 24 hours. That's why we are fighting in Parliament that data must fall, because now information is on our phones. Don't think TikTok is only jokes. There is a lot you can learn in TikTok, including farming. You can learn from other farmers who are on TikTok, or any other form of business, or any other form of study you can learn on social media. It's not only to pass time. There's something you can come across, and that thing can change your life, change the life of your family because we gave you a free Wi-Fi. You're now part of the world. You know how things are done all over the world. Abu Gogo, Nabumkulu, they must not pay for water and electricity. Why? Because they are on SASSA. Once you are on SASSA, it means you are poor. That's why about game pure fela. Hauna sao. Yalo batho ba le ba modimo ka moka na bona. Ba tswantse ba kry metsi a mahala. Le motlakase wa mahala. SASSA ela ba e kryang ba inyofe. Ba ke phine, ba ije, ke khale ba bereka, aba ke kweshe le bona. Re ba fe dintlo, ba gekolo ba ba senang dintlo ka moka, ba kry di-title deed tša dintlo tša bona, gore before ba robala ba tsebe gore ba šia bana ba bona le dintlo tše ba fileng ke mmušo wa bona. So fighters, we need to make sure that we do all of this by building a strong EFF in every community where we come from. We must make sure there is a strong EFF in every campus to make sure that the rights of students are not being violated by those who suppose to teach them. Comrades, we need to make South Africa safe for children and women. We need to fight all the monsters that rape our women and make this place not conducive for women. We cannot have a situation where the cases reported of rape and women abuse are more than the cases in a war zone. It means here in South Africa, we have declared war against women. We cannot declare war against our own mothers. The women of this country must feel free, must know that this is their home. The children of this country must be allowed to be children and not be scared of their father who's going to come back drunk, start abusing the mother. When they try to speak, they get beaten up. We don't want those black families. We want black families that are going to be exemplary, that are going to ensure that everybody's right in the family is respected. The men's rights are respected. Women's rights are respected. Children's rights are respected. We live together in this family in peace and harmony. That is what 1976 was fighting about. That's why 1976 went to the bottle stores, destroyed all of our alcohol, closed all the shebeens, and said our people are dying, our parents are being fed alcohol. Alcohol must be the enemy of the EFF because alcohol destroys families. We don't want alcohol that destroys families. That's why the EFF says we don't want advertisement of alcohol, because the advertisement of alcohol, it's a lie. How libella billboard by advertiser alcohol. We need to change the face of an African man. An African man can never be the face of alcohol that destroys families. I'm not saying do not drink alcohol. I'm saying drink moderately. If you can stop, stop. If alcohol makes you not to go to work tomorrow, stop it. If alcohol makes you to beat up wife, stop it. If alcohol makes you to beat children, stop it. If alcohol makes you to get into a fight with people, stop it. It is not good for you. It is destroying you. It is destroying the family. It is destroying the hope of the hopeless people who were looking up to you, that the future looks bright through my uncle, through my father, through my mother. So we're in parliament saying to them, stop advertisement of alcohol. We're in parliament. We've put a bill where we said, cancel the student debt. Every student must get the results and go into the job market, go and look for opportunities and feed their families. They worked very hard, but at the end, they can't be given their results. As a result, they can't work anywhere. We are saying to Parliament, let's insource every worker who comes to work in the building of government. So here, in Union Building, if there is a company that is hired to work here in Union Building, we are going to chase out the company and take over the workers who are working here in Union Building and pay them more and give them medical aid and make sure they've got a pension fund, so that when they retire and go home, they can show their children as to what they were doing when they were in Pretoria. We cannot allow outsourcing because it doesn't restore the dignity of our people. Fighters, be inspired by the youth of 1976. They never asked anyone for permission. They went to the streets and said, enough is enough. We have had enough. We are here today because of the youth of 1976. You can talk about any youth anywhere in the world. They are inspired by the youth of 1976. When you see the youth fighting in Kenya, when you see the youth fighting in Sudan, when you see the youth fighting in DRC, they are inspired by Hector Peterson and his generation. We too must be inspired by fearless youth of South Africa. We must not be a youth of beggars. We must be the youth that O.R. Tambo called Islamlilo. We were not scared of anything. We are ready to take back this country into the rightful owners. That's why you are here today in your numbers. Everywhere where you see injustice, you must go in there and fight for our people, because you are the weapon of the people. The EFF is the only weapon of the poor, of the poorest. That's why EFF is insulted every day on Twitter, on social media, because it is the only organization that is not controlled by the white man. All of them are controlled by the white man. This organization is controlled by black women and black men and all Africans in South Africa, Africa and the diaspora. We are fighting for black people and we are not ashamed of that. Comrades, today you are unemployed. Today there is poverty at home. Mara President Yalena Ramaphosa ba mo kreila tsentša tšhelete ka moara di sofa a tsentša $1 ka ra mosemelo ko Ramaphosa a ka tšola mmelo a ke di o kokonetše mmelo ke mpeto mojuangwadi wa ditšhelete re a sokola. Ramaphosa o beile ditšhelete ka ra mepete mara tsebo gore EFF e sa le gona e tlo tšwa tšhelete la ka ra mepete wa rata. Ramaphosa must go, and Ramaphosa must go today. We don't want Ramaphosa as our president. Ramaphosa has brought a shame into the Union Building. The ANC has brought a shame into the Union Building. They must leave, and they must leave now. We are in Parliament, in the impeachment committee. We are going to remove Ramaphosa. He went to court to try and stop that process. The EFF applied to join. The court said join. When he tried to interdict, we oppose. We are going to court again with him. He will never stop that process. As long as EFF is alive, Phala Phala will never die. EFF will keep Phala Phala still alive. Comrades, let's love each other. As black people, let's love one another. you don't belong to us. Even when you are a South African who's sending drugs to our children, you don't belong to us. Mara dibana na che ba dincha mo dikolong di rekisa di-drugs kae batho ba modimo. Dibana na che ba ganang di chekiwa ka dipetlele di rekisa di-drugs mo kae batho ba modimo. Ra tloa re ke tlhoile ka mokgwa mokaka-kaka, ra tlhoya le basadi ba o ima, ra tlhoya le bana ba before ba belega, ra tswalela di-gate, ra re a ba bolaiwana mo we. Not in my name. I'm not going to join that struggle. I join the struggle of people who love each other. The only option you have is to love each other amongst ourselves. Let us fight for peace in Africa. Let Africa one day know peace. Let DRC know peace. Let Somalia know peace. Everywhere else in Africa must be about peace. Ethiopia, we need peace. In DRC, we need peace. We cannot say peace in South Africa and not say peace to all Africans. We cannot say we love South Africans and hate Africans. Batho ba Lesotho ke batho ba bolena le na le di relative ko Lesotho. Batho ba Botswana ke ba bolena le na le di relative ko Botswana. Batho ba Mozambique ke ba bolena le na le di relative ko Mozambique. Batho ba Venda ba na le di relative ka Zimbabwe. We are one thing. Africa is one. Africa must never be divided by anyone. Let us love all Africans. Comrades, emelang in niti. Na ke emechi niti. Lege bampicha maruga. Bantua every day. Banyakompula every day. Banyakonchara every day. I will never beg them. I will always tell them the truth. Because the truth remains the truth. Africa is one. One love for Africa. Africa, we need peace. And that peace starts here in South Africa. Fighters, we're going to elections. We must register all young people who are not registered. The EFF is the only organization that is registering young people. ANC doesn't register young people. DA doesn't register young people. Why? Ba wina ka voters roll yela ya khale. That's why ba sanya ke batho ba bantshwa mo voters roll. So rena re swantse re ba tsentse ka swele re bethe ANC re bethe DA ka the new voters. Ani yolo bonkgono ka mo tente ke a le khopela ro voter. Let's go le votela Mandela. Mandela o robetse. Le sa Mandela roba le boroko bo botse. O be rekile mogalabe. A le a bona le ka re le ba lebelela la lebella Ramaphosa la lebella Mandela le bona ka nko Ramaphosa se Mandela. Fighters, we are now choosing councillor candidates. Arinya ke mafighter aulwa. No one must disrupt a meeting of the EFF because he wants to be a councillor at all costs. Na rinya ku tseba re le councillor ra ke ma. As long as red beret ka tsena ka mola re a tseba re ka moka re tsene ilo re emela all of us. So fighters, let's make sure that we register young people and we elect councillors. A leader must serve the people, not the other way around. You are our employers. You employed us. We must serve you. That's why we hired this sound system. We hired it for you. Because if it was for me, Mara, this is for you. Hore makgoa ata today ba swantse ba kwe message hore makgoa kwe message o be le sound system eso o be le di screen o re diela lena makgoa. But once a leader wants to be served by the members, le bona mowe red flag. Uruagasville Councillor. So fighters, let's go and elect men and women in the EFF who will represent the EFF very well on the 4th of November. So we are going to make sure that when we leave here, no child is not registered. You know, some leaders of the EFF, you ask them to go and register 50 young people from the school they went to themselves, from their own school. Till today, they have not registered those people. So, what kind of a leader is this one who can convince 50 people? Mara, a provincial legislature, ke member of parliament, ke councillor, Mara, ana 50 people that he can register. We cannot have leaders who are lazy. We cannot have leaders who look down on the masses. We cannot have leaders who don't even know how many people who have wheelchairs in the community where you are a ward councillor. A ward councillor is a mother or a father of the orphans in that particular ward. We need hard-working individuals who represent our communities. Fighters, it's not going to be easy. The enemy is attacking very hard. But you must know, so, there's going to be a lot of attacks on the leadership of the EFF and on the EFF. Why? That's why every party that is formed in South Africa, the first thing about mulom bar EFF. Ukabar EFF kim musho, kamor nasir na musho. We are opposition like them. Mara, ebabula mulom all the time. EFF this, EFF that, EFF this. They want every opportunity to attack the EFF. But you, the ground forces of the EFF, must stand ready, combat ready to defend the movement on the ground. How do I defend the movement on the ground? I must register every unregistered voter. I must canvass every voter. I must make sure in every house there is a voter of the EFF. That way, I'm defending the EFF. Let them talk, you do the work. Leave them talking, you do the work. On the 5th of November, they will get a shock of their lifetime because they were talking, you were working. The results will talk for you. This year, we are rejecting corruption. This year, every councillor in our community who was corrupt, it is our turn now to punish that councillor of the ANC. How come the whole family of the councillor, they have got jobs, and next door there is no single person who's working? Clearly, that is corruption. We must go and stop it on the 4th of November. The people of Gauteng, the power is in your hands. You must decide what you do with the power. The youth of 2026, you will decide if you want to be like the 1976 youth. But I trust you, the way you came here in your numbers, you are telling them already that we are going to be like the youth of 1976. We are going to take every campus. We are going to take every university. We are going to take every TVET. We are going to take every school. Every young person in South Africa belongs to the EFF, including those who are wearing ANC t-shirts. They belong to the EFF. We are going to take them from the ANC and show them the direction. They are lost. You must be so ashamed when you are young and still wear an ANC t-shirt. Everybody just salute us. Le ba re sa ba bone, ba re fighter, because we are the hope of the hopeless people of South Africa. We represent the future of South Africa. We are going to deliver economic freedom in our lifetime. Amandla! Amandla! Long live the EFF, long live! Long live the EFF, long live! Niyabasabana!